let's just say that the jalapenos and the hemorrhoids don't exactly mix, but like, I want my jalapenos, what can I say? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another pregnancy update. This is gonna be weeks 13 to 14. I apologize for my boogery sounding voice. Honestly, I feel like crap because I have a cold, but I have to get this video filmed because I'm still not caught up to real time on YouTube with this pregnancy yet. So I'm just over 15 weeks now. Hopefully by the next time I'll be caught up. But if you guys want to hear about the latest symptoms in this pregnancy, then just keep watching. I just realized I never watched my video from last time. Oh no. Let me quickly go peek at it. I just quickly went back and watched my video from my last pregnancy, so I had things to compare to because I said I was going to do that. Okay, so let's just jump right in. In my last pregnancy, my nausea had been a lot better at this point, but I mentioned in this weekly update that it had actually come back pretty bad. So the opposite is here. This time is my nausea has been progressively starting to get better as each week goes on. I am still taking the Unisom and B6. I think I'm going to be stopping here soon because I am now noticing that throughout the day the nausea is so much better. So thank goodness, because when I was in the deep, dark pits of nausea, it felt like it was never going to end. So that is feeling better. In my last update for this pregnancy, I had talked about how I was having quite a bit of constipation. And in this update in my last pregnancy, I said that that was still happening. Well, I'm happy to report for this pregnancy, that's pretty much gone. I'm much more regular now. Now I know that that can come back and like that changes all throughout pregnancy. But as of the last 2 weeks, that has been a lot more comfortable. One thing that has gotten worse the last 2 weeks is headaches. I've had a lot more headaches this pregnancy. They started a lot earlier, and I'm still getting them, and I had quite a few the last 2 weeks, and then I got sick, which I guess technically happened in week 15. So I guess I shouldn't talk about that, but headaches come along with head colds too. So a lot more headaches. I've still been trying to like not take Tylenol unless it's absolutely necessary, just because that's what I prefer. So I've been using, I have an essential oil roller of peppermint and Panaway, which are both Young Living oils that I use that really helps to take the edge off, especially if I use it right away when I feel the headaches starting to come on. But headaches have definitely been a lot more prominent this pregnancy. Something I talked about in my 11 to 12 week update was that I was feeling really, really moody. I'm also happy to report that I feel like that's improved. Like I'm still hormonal and like moody, but I feel like it's a lot better. I think part of it is just that I'm now in the second trimester as of week 14, and things are starting to level out. Not to bring up my oils again, but you guys, like, I use oils every single day of my life. I started using a hormone support roller, which I actually used during my 2-week wait, which is geranium and ylang ylang. And I was like, why haven't I been using this my whole pregnancy? Because it's great to help support your hormones. But I realized it was because I couldn't stand the smell of any of my oils for like majority of the first trimester. So I started incorporating that back into my routine. Maybe that's part of the reason why my moods have been a little bit more level lately. I don't know, but that's been a nice change as well. They say like the second trimester is like the happy period, and I feel like I'm kind of starting to get into that. This is something I should have mentioned back with the constipation, and this is something that I should have mentioned in a previous update. For some reason I just didn't think to, and this is very TMI, but welcome to my videos. And that is hemorrhoids. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw my whole thing. I had a whole post about hemorrhoids and my butthole spray. Again, incorporating essential oils. But I had never had hemorrhoids my entire life, never had hemorrhoids during Lian's pregnancy, but postpartum it was like, oh boy, they were here and it was bad. And I dealt with hemorrhoids for like well over a year postpartum, and the only thing that made them go away and like stay away if I was consistent was a blend of frankincense, tea tree, witch hazel, and water. And I posted about that on Instagram, like being like, oh my god, this is TMI, but like this is what I use because they've come back with pregnancy. It's hilarious how many people appreciated that post. Like I can't even tell you the number of DMs I got of people that are like, girl, hemorrhoids, yes, like bad. So I've said before, follow along on Instagram for some real life to the moment things that I share. But hemorrhoids is something that I've been dealing with again this pregnancy, and it's been since pretty much the beginning, so I should have mentioned it before, but I forgot. Another thing that I should have mentioned before, but I just kept forgetting every week, is that my belly button has already popped out. So that's the one thing that never went back to normal after Lian's birth. I don't have any stretch marks, like no loose skin, none of that, but my belly button never went back to normal. So it's still like always kind of out, but then once I got pregnant, I swear around like 8 weeks, it was like popped out like pregnant belly button. So forgot to mention that so many times, figured I would this time. I've had another craving, and that is jalapenos. We have jalapenos in our fridge, and it's like I swear I see them and I'm like, I need them. So I've been eating a lot of nachos because cheese is still a big craving for me. And I've even been like putting jalapenos on grilled cheeses, which sounds really strange, but like really good. I encourage you to try it. So jalapenos have been my latest craving. I'm going to go make nachos as soon as I'm done filming this video. Let's just say that the jalapenos and the hemorrhoids don't exactly mix, but like I want my jalapenos, what can I say? Okay, and then the last new thing is a big one, and that is that in week 13, I felt the baby move for the first time, which I was like, there's no way, this is too early. I think I felt Lian in like the end of week 15, maybe week 16, I think it was week 15. And so when I felt this in week 13, I was like, there's no way. So I went to Instagram, good old Instagram, and I put a little question box up, and I was like, is this possible? Has anyone felt it this early? And the verdict is definitely yes. A lot of people have felt their babies this early, especially second time pregnancies, because you already know kind of what to feel. And so it's funny with Lian's pregnancy, you know, everyone says that like the first feelings are like a flutter or whatever. That's not how it felt with Lian. With Lian's, it was like little taps almost. But this time it was like an unmistakable flutter. Like it could not have been anything else. It was 100% the baby. So I felt the baby in week 13 this time, and I have felt him quite a few times since then, maybe like once or twice a day. It's never anything big yet, never consistent. It's just like one little like boom. And now that he's getting a little bigger, like into week 14, I started to feel more of like those taps where he's like perhaps kicking off kind of thing. So that's been pretty cool to feel him so much earlier this time. I'm still really excited to where it like picks up and you can like really feel, and it like happens throughout the day. But for now it's still just like once or twice a day. But it started in week 13 this time, which was really early. So I watched my video back from my first pregnancy, and 2 other things I mentioned in this week that were like strange pregnancy symptoms were that my skin was a lot drier, whereas normally I have really oily skin, and my hair is typically really oily, and it's a lot less oily. Those 2 things have happened again this pregnancy. I have noticed my skin, I don't think as much as first time around, but my skin is drier than it typically is, and my hair is less oily than it typically is. I remember with my pregnancy with Lian, because normally I'm like an every other day washer, and that's like pushing it. I remember with my pregnancy with Lian that I could go like a week without washing my hair, which was insane. This time I can maybe go 3 days, so it is less oily, but it's not quite like it was in my first pregnancy. But those are just 2 really unusual pregnancy symptoms. So then that's gonna be it for symptoms. I did have a midwife appointment, which I figured I would talk about. It was super straightforward, just to make sure everything was going good. It was at 14 weeks, and that's really the time frame where it's like pregnancy is kind of weird because you're starting to feel better. Like I still don't feel myself. My boobs still really hurt, by the way, real bad. I'm still having nausea, but like it's not as much, and you're not really feeling the baby that much yet. So it's like this weird period where you're like, am I still pregnant? Like, of course I am, but it's like you get those thoughts that are like, you just want reassurance. So I was really happy when she found the heartbeat like immediately using a Doppler. I put it on, and it was like right there, super strong, happy baby. She was laughing because she said he is really wiggly because she had to keep like chasing him around to catch the heartbeat. And she was saying it's definitely normal, or it's definitely possible to be feeling movements right now, that the baby is certainly big enough to be producing movements that you can feel, but they still have so much fluid around them that that's what like makes it where you don't feel it quite as often, if that makes sense. Like they're big enough, but the fluid kind of keeps it from like being a constant thing you're feeling. She says like they push off and then they just like go swimming in all this fluid. That was really good to hear. That baby's heartbeat was really good and healthy. I don't have to have a midwife appointment for like 6 weeks because she said my next appointment will be the anatomy scan, which is done at a different place. So I can't believe that I'm already scheduling my anatomy scan. She told me to schedule it for the 3rd week of February, which is my 18th week. And like, that's when we found out the gender last time. So I can't believe we're already getting to that point. Of course, we already know the gender, but it's just gonna be fun to see that confirmed. And I'm excited to see the baby in such a bigger form. So that will be coming in an update here in the next few weeks, I guess in like a month or so. So that's my next appointment. And then like she said, I don't have to come in for like 2 weeks after that because they'll check everything out at that anatomy scan. So I don't think we really talked about much else at that appointment. I asked about continuing the Unisom B6. She said it's totally fine to do my whole pregnancy if I wanted to. I don't want to. I don't think I'll need to. But as of now, like I mentioned, I am. And then everything else is looking good. So that's going to be it for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like it. I really think by the next time, like I think I'll have this uploaded before it's time to film my next update. Crossing my fingers, so then I'll finally be like on track. Oh, I have to show you guys my belly, so I'll show you guys my belly right now. But don't forget to subscribe. You'll see I'm in sweatpants. See? I'm still bigger than I was in my first pregnancy at this point. I keep waiting to see if I'll catch up. I feel like my growth is slowing down quite a bit now, where I like really popped in the beginning and it's kind of starting to catch up now. But I saw a picture of myself the other day because I'm like 3 weeks ahead in my last pregnancy. So I got a picture that was like 2 years ago, and it was 16 weeks pregnant, and I feel like my belly is like as big as I was at 16 weeks pregnant. So I'm still bigger than I was at this point in my last pregnancy, but I do think it's starting to catch up. So that's gonna be everything for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye. I look haggard, man.